Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. Looks like the sun is starting to peek out through the clouds. So it looks like it may end up being a gorgeous day today. So if you have time today to get out in your yard, especially if you are thinking about selling anytime soon, looks like it might be a great day to start sprucing up the yard. If you have flower beds, be a great time to start putting fresh mulch, pulling weeds, those kinds of things. Inspection day is an exciting day. It's actually pretty stressful for sellers and buyers. One reason I love representing sellers and buyers is because I'm going to do every single thing I can to kind of discourage that stress and relieve as much as possible. As a seller, if I represent you, you will not be worried about inspections at all, because before we ever get to the point of inspection day with buyers, you and I have done all kinds of things to be proactive and to make sure that that inspection is going to be pretty damn near perfect, which means you've taken care of any potential water leaks, any electrical issues, any kind of peeling paint or rotten wood or anything that could potentially get flagged during an inspection. The question I get asked all the time from buyers and sellers is an inspection mandatory? And there is a difference between an inspection and an appraisal. Those are absolutely two separate things. An inspection is not required by anyone. It is absolutely not required. So when you buy a home, I tell every single one of the people that I represent, you absolutely want to get the house inspected by an official, formally trained home inspector. And I don't care if the house was finished being built yesterday. You absolutely want your own formal inspection. Not someone that the sellers represent, not that they recommend, not a good buddy, not a cousin. You want a formal inspector recommended by a realtor who you know, like, and trust. So if you do not have a realtor that you know, like, and trust, find one or call me and ask me, and I will tell you. Inspectors are just like anyone else. You have some that are very, very, very thorough and do an absolute meticulous job. And then you have some that are so lazy, if a house is on piers, they're not crawling under the house. That is absolutely somebody you want to put on your list to not use if you're a buyer. So let's talk about inspections. Absolutely not mandated by anyone. I would always recommend, if you're a buyer buying any kind of home whatsoever, you have it formally inspected from top to bottom. And always, if it's a house on piers, you want that to say to that inspector, are you crawling underneath the entire home? And if they say no, or it's too low, or whatever the case is, you want to look for someone else, okay? You want someone that is very, 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 very thorough to inspect your home that you're buying. So the inspector is going to look at the roof. He's going to look at the plumbing. He's going to look at the electrical. He's going to look at the foundation. And basically anything at all that could be structurally not sound or unsafe with the home. He's not looking at anything that just might be ugly. Like, let's say, for example, that there's a little bit of scuff marks or peeling paint on kitchen cabinets. That is not something that the inspector is going to probably not flag, anything like that. So if it's cosmetic, it's probably something that's not going to go in a report. They're looking for things that could be broken, could be not up to code, just be in need of repair. They're looking at the HVAC. How old is it? Has it been serviced? Has it been maintained? Is it properly functioning? All those kinds of things. And those are the kinds of things that are going to go in an inspection report. The only thing that may be required if you're getting a loan, if you're getting a certain kind of loan, like possibly an FHA loan or a VA loan, lots of times the lender, depending on who you're using, the person you're mortgaging the house through, may require what's called a WDIR report. And that is a wood destroying insect report, which means your inspector is probably going to bring a termite company with him during the inspection. You absolutely can use any termite company you want to use, but they're not just looking for termites, they're looking for any kind of wood destroying insect. So again, if the home is on piers that you're buying, you want to make sure that that termite company is crawling underneath that house and is looking for any previous damage from any kind of wood destroying insects at all, like powder post beetles, termites, carpenter bees, anything that can bore holes in wood or chew the wood or destroy the wood in any kind of way. If the termite person gets to the house, and let's just say you're buying a house on piers and they are not going to crawl under it, you absolutely can tell them, no, I don't want you inspecting this home. I want somebody who's going to crawl under the house. You want somebody that is very, very, very thorough. And so if it is a home on piers, it gets crawled 2 times, once by the inspector and once by the termite company. And believe me, I have represented lots of buyers in lots and lots and lots of deals, and there are homes that have live active termites that I would have never thought in a million years would have had live active termites. I am by no means the expert. That termite company is trained to find those insects, and believe me, if they're to be found, that's their job. They'll find them. They have found them on homes, like I said, that I never thought in a million years they would find them. And they're treatable. So if it's an early case, absolutely it's treatable. 9 times out of 10, people do not walk away when they find any kind of wood destroying insects. You just say, listen, if there wasn't significant damage so that it's structural in nature, it needs to be put into contract. They need to be eradicated, and you need to make sure that it absolutely stays under contract for the life of the home. In South Louisiana, wood destroying insects of all kinds, not just termites, are very, very, very common. We actually had a carpenter bee problem last summer with our shop. They were boring holes into all the wood so fast. If we hadn't caught them, they would have very well destroyed it in no time. So we had a termite company come out, and they treated it, and we haven't seen a carpenter bee since. So they haven't, whatever they had to do to keep it, to keep those bees from coming back and destroying that wood is what they did. So I'm showing up at the inspection today because when I represent you as the buyer, I am going to be at the home for the inspection the entire time. I feel like that is my responsibility. I need to be here to support you. You as the buyer can be at the inspection for the whole time. You absolutely do not have to. Normally what happens with buyers is they show up about probably the last 30 minutes of the inspection, and the inspector goes through the entire report, discusses every single thing that they have found with the inspection. And then as the buyer, you absolutely have the right to do a couple of things. If things are found, let's just say during the inspection, they find that there are 2 HVAC systems and only one is functioning, only one is working. You as the buyer have lots of options. You can, number one, ask the seller to reduce the price so that you can have it fixed yourself after closing. You can ask them to repair it and make sure that it's in functional working condition before closing, so that when you do your walkthrough before closing, you can make sure it's been fixed. You can ask them to reduce the price. I think I said that already. You can walk away after the inspection, because your inspection is conducted during your due diligence period of your contract. You can absolutely walk away, and you do not have to provide a rationale for it at all. During your due diligence inspection period, which is generally 7 days to maybe 14 or 21 days, part of your contract, you can walk away for any reason. But commonly what happens is buyers don't walk away. They ask the sellers to either reduce the price, to fix it, and then you're back to negotiations with the seller, not you. If you have a realtor, that realtor is handling all of that for you, all of the negotiations, all of the behind the scenes things. And that is what we get paid to do. And I absolutely love doing it. So today I'm at a home that I've listed. The sellers, you can always tell when you get to a house if it has been maintained. This house is in impeccable condition. I am not expecting much of anything. The inspector is probably going to find some very minor things, if at all. But I'm not expecting anything because they did an amazing job preparing it. But not only that, they have taken well care of this house. It's only, I think, 11 years old. They have taken amazing care of the home, and it's obvious when you walk through the house that they have. So those buyers are in a great position. They're getting an amazing home. There's probably not going to be anything major that we're going to have to negotiate with the sellers at all. But if we do, we'll negotiate for either repairs or a lower price, or they can walk away. They absolutely have the right to walk away if there's something so significant that they did not anticipate. So just know that. An inspection is not mandatory. I absolutely always recommend it. You have lots of negotiation that can happen during that time period. And today's a beautiful day for it. In fact, this house has a pool. So the inspector, the house inspector, will inspect the mechanical, electrical part of the pool. But an actual pool inspector is going to be here later in the morning to inspect the pool and let the buyers know what kind of condition it's in and all those things. Also, the inspector will be bringing a termite company to look for any kind of wood destroying insects. So that means 3 different people today will be looking at 3 different parts of this house and the shop and the outdoor kitchen and all the surrounding areas to make sure that the buyers get a full report of everything. So it's going to be an amazing day. It looks like this Saturday is going to be awesome. If you are looking to buy or sell, give me a call. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm actually going to be at a property in Eagan, Louisiana, probably for the next 2 to 3 hours. So I will be here. And if you have questions, message me, call me. I'd love to have a conversation with you.